Hello, everybody, and welcome to Carroll Broadcasting's profile story here, brought to you again today by Western Iowa Networks. I want to thank all of the guys and gals down at Western Iowa Networks for helping us out and bringing you our profile stories that we like to do. And I've got two very special guests joining me here today. I've known these guys for several years now, and I'll probably have a longer conversation with them tonight than maybe some of the conversations that we've had over the years. I got Jake Danner sitting over here to my left. Jake, of course, this past Friday night against Boyer Valley became the all-time leader in yardage as a quarterback in 8-man football. He has now got, I want to make sure I get it right here, 6,544 career yards. So, Jake, congratulations on that. And over here to my right, of course, is his teammate, Derek Schurke from Arweva as well. Derek is now the all-time leader in 8-man football in yardage with 3,093 as a receiver. He also has tied the all-time record, no matter what class size it is, for receptions in a career with 238. He's tied right now with T.J. Hawkinson, who played for Sheraton in the early part of this decade. So first catch he gets Friday night against Glidden Ralston, he will become the all-time leading receiver in catches in the history of Iowa high school football. So, guys, I want to thank you guys both very much for coming in and joining us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
You guys have grown up together. I guess the first question I've got, and I'll just throw this one out here. How long have you guys known each other? Was it from even before you got to school in kindergarten, or did you guys meet each other for the first time in kindergarten? How long have you two guys known each other?
To be honest, I don't know. Probably a little bit before school started, or before we were in school, with our families, as close as they are. But we really got really close during school, I would say.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you met Jake?
No, that's a long time ago.
It's a long time. It's not that long ago.
Yeah,
you guys are pretty
time.
young. Do you remember anything? What do you remember of your first ever run-in with Derek?
I don't even know. I probably knew we'd be best friends, though, right when we saw each other. But I don't even remember.
I would assume, too.
So you guys have been best friends as long as you can remember?
Yeah.
How did the friendship kind of develop and grow?
Oh,
We'll start with Jake here.
Probably just going to recess, playing sports with each other, playing catch. I mean, everything just hit off together, and I'm sure that's just how it worked out.
Do you have a first memory of maybe the first thing that you did with him that rings a bell with you?
I don't know, sports-wise, playing football at recess, we'd always have signals like Terrell Owens for tackle football there during recess when we weren't supposed to. So that's probably one of our main memories with football together during recess.
Now, you guys aren't the only two in your class. There's kind of a group of you guys, Alex Cook, Zach Krause, and then you had Austin Stolk, who's a couple of years older, that was kind of a part of this crew. But you guys have been kind of the main cogs, you four guys out of that class. So has this group always been really, really tight?
Yeah, we've all been really tight, Jeff. Can't remember a day we've really argued with each other or anything, so.
Yeah, it's always been us four. We've done everything together ever since we were little, so everything just keeps working out the way it is.
And have you guys always been active in playing sports, or when did you guys start? Was it in recess in elementary or something, or when did you guys really start to realize that you all liked playing athletics?
Oh, probably recess. I mean, we always knew what we wanted to do. We watched all sports at home and everything. We just knew what we liked, and we just kept at it.
Competitive? You guys competitive with each other?
Tell
us some stories. Come on now. You got to have some good stories. What are some of your most competitive moments, maybe with Jake and even with Alex and Zach?
I don't know. You know us. We all hate losing. So if we were down at recess or something, we'd probably argue a little bit. But within a couple minutes, we'd be normal again after recess was over.
What are some of your favorite memories of recess playing with him and some of the other guys?
Oh, everything was very competitive. We always had to be right. Everything, even if there was a slight penalty, we'd call it. We'd make sure everything was called.
That's true.
To make it fair for everyone, but it was very competitive.
So have you guys always played together, or were you guys, when you were younger, on different teams? Did you guys separate things out, or was it kind of the four amigos against the rest of the class?
No, it was kind of split up. I would say, none of the other kids really liked us being on the same team, so we'd split it up and make it even for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, when did the quarterback wide receiver thing start? I'm sure you guys probably played little kid flag football, probably when you were young. When did all that start for you guys?
Well, I remember flag football. I've always loved throwing the ball around, so we recessed, then we got to flag football, and I was quarterback during that, and it just always stuck together. I mean, it's by far my favorite position on the football field.
Why did you choose quarterback then?
I don't know. I just like being in control, I guess. I was able to see everything that was happening, and I knew I was smart enough to run the position, so I just kept working on it, and so far I think it's worked out pretty well.
What were those early years for you like playing flag football as quarterback? Did you run the football more, or were you out there just looking to chuck it around a little bit?
Well, I'm sure we just ran the ball around a lot, but I remember throwing the ball out to Derek and all the other guys, just throwing it out and hoping for the best, and most of the time it actually worked out well.
So it sounds like you guys kind of found that rhythm with each other pretty young.
Oh, for sure. It definitely worked out well.
How old, Derek, were you guys? Do you remember when you started this flag football career together?
I don't know, second, third grade. We were really young, but like we said about recess, we were always throwing the ball around then too, so timing wasn't never an issue for even when we were that young. And then it's like today, that's pretty much what we rely on. He knows where I'm going to be, and I know where he's going to throw the ball, so it's a big timing issue for all of us.
How did you guys get that connection with each other? Was it right away? Was this something like the first year you guys played together, it's like, man, we understand what each other's thinking and it clicked, or did this take a few years to develop?
Probably a couple of years, probably not right away, but once we started playing with each other more, we definitely got the timing down and all that, so it was a big key to where we are today.
You always been a receiver, or did you start off as a running back during flag football and just kind of slowly move to the outside?
Running back, but then even in flag football, we still pass the ball around a lot, so it's kind of been both. Kind of started off at both.
Now, with as competitive as you guys are, and all four of you guys being really good athletes, how hard is it for you to be able to keep all these guys that want the football in their hands happy, especially when they were younger? Probably easier today than it was when you were in second and third grade.
Definitely easier now because we're all a team. We know whatever happens is going to happen. Just hope for the best, and it works out. But back then, I'm sure it was pretty tough. Everybody always wants the ball and wants to make the big play. So, it's definitely easier now.
Did anybody ever come into the huddle and say, why did you throw it to him? I was open. I'm talking in the early days before now.
I'm sure they did. I don't remember, though.
What would your response been?
My bad. I guess I'll look next. I'll look next play.
So you guys just had a lot of fun. What was it about football that kind of clicked for all of you guys?
Just being a team, it really brings everyone together, and honestly, it's just really fun to be out there together.
You guys played flag football for how many years? When did you guys start tackle? Was it before junior high, or did you guys always play flag football up to your junior high days?
No, it was fifth grade. We started tackle football over in Denison, and then that kind of prepared us for middle school.
Okay. Did you enjoy that? Was it a step up, or did you think, wow, this is kind of interesting?
And I definitely enjoyed tackle football, probably more than flag, even though I'm not the biggest guy on the field, but it's still a lot more fun than just pulling somebody's flag.
Yeah. And do you like getting hit? Is that something that do you enjoy the contact or not really?
As a wide receiver and running back, no. I like to juke people out. I'm not one to take the blunt of a hit, so I like to put moves on people. It's more fun.
But then as a defensive back and linebacker, you like to hit people. I
Yeah,
have a feeling.
try to hit people. I'm more of an ankle biter. That's what I am.
Jake, for you as a quarterback, you said you liked throwing the football around. You kind of liked being in charge. When did you feel like, this is something I could be pretty good at, reading defenses, understanding where my receivers are going to be? And, the thing that people probably don't realize, it's not easy having that touch to be able to make all the different throws. And it sounds like you're capable of doing that. So how old were you when you started kind of clicking on you that, I've got the potential to be pretty good here?
Oh, well, I got to give credit to all my coaches and stuff putting me in positions to be able to read these defenses and know what's coming. And then the wide receivers getting in good spots, and just I can make those throws. I know for a fact that where they're going to be, so it's easier to know where to throw the ball. And I really known that I was not going to be that good. I kind of just started happening. I really didn't think about how good I was going to be or anything. It just worked my way up, and here I am.
You mentioned coaches. Talk about some of the coaches that have coached you over the years and helped you develop as a football player.
Well, freshman year, Coach Schurke, he helped out a lot. Obviously, I didn't play as much as a freshman, but as starting off, it was kind of rough, and as a quarterback, I really wasn't sure what to expect. And I made some throws, and I had a lot of interceptions, and that's just being young. But then Coach P brought up and came in, and he's helped out a lot. It's just been a lot good at, like, this experience has helped me a lot.
Same guys for you probably. Who are maybe some other coaches that have had an impact on you for football? Because I know you've had a lot of great coaches. You guys are 4-sport stars, so you've had a lot of great coaches in all of your different sports. But for football, who kind of helped you kind of develop?
Definitely Coach P and my dad. Always, like, finding new ways to make moves on people to get open, spin them around, and basically get an extra couple yards on them trying to defend me.
So an ankle biter on defense, an ankle breaker on offense, is that kind of what you are?
I don't know if you can say that, but I try.
Jeff Blankman joined again here today by Derek Schurke over here to my right and Jake Danner, both of them from the Arweva Rockets football team here in high school, of course. Again, this past Friday night against Booyer Valley, both of them become all-time leaders in state football history in 8-men. Derek's got an opportunity to break another record yet this season. Needs just one more catch to be able to do that. And this interview and profile story here tonight, again, brought to you by Western Iowa Network, so we certainly do appreciate them helping us in bringing you this coverage here tonight. Derek, let's talk a little bit about family. You mentioned your dad was your coach as a freshman. I'm sure he probably helped coach you guys a little bit coming through. Your dad was a great athlete, I think, in high school and in college in his day. You've got a younger brother in Drew that looks like he's got the potential to have a great career. How much do you think having maybe a really good, solid family base has helped you become the person and player that you are today?
Well, they definitely teach me about hard work. Hard work was key even growing up. They never wanted us to give anything but our full effort every time. Basically, dedication to sports. We were always playing sports growing up with Jake, Alex, Zach, everybody in our class pretty much since we were young. I don't know. We've always been playing sports, so.
And I bring up everybody except for your mom. I'm sure your mom's had a big impact on you
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, my mom's definitely, she's always there to support me, and she she was a good athlete in high school too, obviously, I'm playing 6-on-6 in basketball. That's probably one of her key sports that she played.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's built you into the basketball player you are today.
Yeah, I guess. Dad more football, mom more basketball.
Absolutely. Jake, with you, kind of the same thing. I know your dad was a terrific athlete over at Glidden Ralston growing up as a kid. I'm sorry, I don't know what sports your mom all played, Amy, but you got a sister playing basketball up at Northwestern right now, Paige, who is an amazing athlete. You got a younger sister in Emily, who's got the potential to probably play at the next level someday too. So your family, very solid family backing, very athletic family. How much of an impact has that had in helping you develop into not just a football player, but the kid that you are today?
My dad and my mom, they've always been there for me, supporting me through everything. And my dad, he's always been there pushing me to everything. He's always been the one always there for me for everything. And my sisters, it's tough not having a brother to go up against and not be as physical. So I got to do it against my sisters, but I can only do it to a certain extent because then I'd get in trouble. So, I wish I had a brother to do this with, but I can do it on my dad, so it's all good.
I was going to say, I can't imagine Paige and Emily, though, backing away from the contact. I've watched them play. They're not afraid to get in there and be a little physical.
That's right? A good point, yeah.
How competitive is your family, though? Because Paige and Emily are pretty competitive kids.
Yeah.
I get the sense from mom and dad they like to compete, too. So is your family as competitive as what you are with these guys?
Probably, yeah. Everyone has to be right, and they always have to have their way, so that's not always a hard thing to do, but, yeah, very competitive.
Is that why you're kind of the quiet one in the family a little bit?
Probably.
What are you talking about, quiet? He's not quiet.
Yeah, I understand. When you guys get together, there's not a quiet person in the group, but talking about your younger brother, Drew, too, how often do you guys compete with each other? You're 3 years older or 2 years older than he is, but are you guys competitive with each other, and how much does that drive each of you?
I'd say not as competitive as we used to be, because we used to play basketball in the house, football in the house all the time, and we'd always fight because one of us would end up getting hurt. And then we still go to the gym and play basketball against each other, but it's not competitive with football or anything. Kind of throw the baseball around sometimes, football around, but it's not as much competitiveness as it used to be.
Do you guys help each other then? Do you try to be the big brother that's teaching the little brother a little bit?
Football-wise, I try to teach him basically kind of how to get open. What works for me, I try to teach him, for running routes too, because it can only make our team better if we're all there to get open for Jake to pass us the ball. And I've definitely tried to help him, but he's helped me a lot too, getting and teaching me new stuff. So it's kind of both ways.
Let's talk a little bit about that night now. We'll start off with you, Derek. You guys knew these records were coming. I'm sure it probably wore you down a little bit with everybody constantly hounding you. When are you going to break the records? When are you going to break the records? You were probably glad to get them over last week and stuff. But what's this season been like, knowing that record's out there and probably having people talk to you, and especially the last 3 weeks? You guys haven't played more than a half, really, except for last week. They kept you in for one series, so you could kind of get that record at home. But what's this season been like building towards the record for you?
Well, I'd say neither of us really knew much about him, like how far we were away at the beginning of the season. But then once we got closer, like 3 weeks ago, maybe 2, somewhere in there, that we kind of started getting hounded by people about how close we were. And then not playing much, like second halves wise, it's kind of hard to, and when we get ahead by a lot, it's kind of hard to get it when we're not passing the ball. We're just trying to run and be more conservative and get the clock going. But I don't know, like, it's definitely, I'm glad we got it out of the way now, because now we can just focus on more goals, bigger goals, like playoffs. We got Ottoman coming up, which will be a tough game, so we can focus on that instead of not getting the record or something. Like, it's out of the way, so I'm kind of glad with that.
I get the sense in talking to you that the individual records don't mean as much probably as what the team aspect of this stuff does for you.
Yeah, like, we had goals set at the beginning of the season with Coach P. He makes us fill out 3 individual goals and 3 team goals, but I'd definitely say the team goals were way easier to fill out because we're not focused on ourselves. We like to build each other as a team and make each other better every day.
Bubble screen, I think second play of the second half, if I remember right, an 8-yard gain got you what you needed to break the record. Did you guys know that was going to be it? Were you hoping that was the play that set it on Friday night?
Well, we knew that we had to have been close with Coach P. Kind of just keep calling those. Like, he just kept calling those in the second half. So we kind of knew it had to have been coming because he obviously wanted us to get it on the same play. I would assume. Haven't really talked to him much about it, but I would assume he obviously knew it was coming and he wanted us to get it on the same play. So,
did you know you got it when you got it? Did they stop the game? Did they let you know, or did they just quit throwing the bubble screen?
No, we got it, and then he kind of just took us out right away. So we knew we got it during that play, and then after the game they announced it for both of us.
Okay. Let's talk with you, Jake, about it. What's the season been like for you with that record kind of sitting out there? Were you aware of it and knew you had a chance to break it this year? And was it something that you kind of thought about as the season went on?
Honestly, I really didn't even think about it at all. I just went out there and played football, and like you said, 2-3 weeks before it happened, I started getting told about it. And then it started to come an idea, but I still knew we needed to go out and just win, and it would come as soon as it could.
Did you feel a little bit of weight on you when people started talking to you about it, or were you able to just kind of slack it off and just say, you know what, gonna go do what we need to do to win football games?
Yeah, when they told me about it, like, honestly, right at the time I was thinking about it, but once I got on the field, I wasn't worried about it at all. Just go out and play football and make the plays that need to be made. Take
me through the play where it happened. The second play of that opening drive there, I think, in the second half. When the call came in, what was going through your mind? Was it, I'm going to Derek no matter what on the bubble screen, and how did that play develop?
Yeah, right when the call came in the huddle and I started calling, I knew Derek was going to be open. He always is. So I knew that's where I was going. So snap came, saw Derek, all of a sudden I saw our defender coming. I'm like, Derek's still open. Got it to him quick, and he went to work, and that's usually what I have to do, just give it to Derek, and he goes, and saw him get as many yards as he could, and then coach called timeout, and I realized we got it then.
What's it like then afterwards, standing on the sidelines, knowing you've set some records, but the game's still going on, you're out because you guys are up by so much that you're not going to get a play? What was going through your mind the whole second half? Because you probably knew that there was going to be some kind of a ceremony coming up after the game, I imagine.
Yeah, just sitting on there and having the teammates come up and congratulate you and coaches, and that you could hear people in the stands yelling your names and stuff. It was good knowing that, but you still had to watch the younger kids play and give them credit and make sure they're telling what they need to do better and stuff, just help them out. But, yeah, when we knew something would be happening after the game, so we were kind of anticipating that, but we weren't really that worried.
How much weight is off your shoulders now? Are you just glad to have this part of it done?
Yeah, I'm glad it's over, but just go on and play more football like I've been doing, just hope for the best.
And Derek, for you, how glad are you to be able to kind of put this one aside? I know you still got another one. It's one more catch, so it's not like that'll probably drag out a real long time. I wouldn't imagine. Not Glidden might be able to shut you down some, but I'm sure you'll get at least one catch in that game. So to just be able to move on and play football.
I'm kind of glad it's over. We don't have to have any more stress over it, have any more people hounding us, but now we can just get a focus on the real goal, the team goals that we have set at the beginning of the season.
Let's talk a little bit about your career now. We'll start off with you again, Derek. Your guys' freshman year, you guys lacked numbers. All of you freshmen were kind of thrown into the starting lineup because they needed you. It was a rough year. If I remember right, 7 of the 8 losses came by 35 or more. It was a 1-8 football team. You knew the talent was there. I even knew it. I remember coming over and calling one of your games, and I'm like, these guys are getting beat now, but folks, be worried about these guys in the future. You knew it was there, but how tough was that? Because you guys were probably guys that hadn't lost in really anything very much coming into that freshman year.
Yeah, younger, like being playing for the Broncos in middle school, we didn't lose very much. And then we kind of hit freshman year, and it was a rude awakening just to see how much bigger everybody was than us. And then as us tiny freshmen, it was kind of hard to get going. Obviously, 1-8 season, not what we wanted, but we definitely gained experience from it and kept building every year from there on.
Did that dampen your love for the game at all, or your competitiveness at all?
No. It showed how much more hard work we had to put in to become better than those bigger teams, and like training in the off season, weightlifting and all that. We had to definitely get a lot bigger.
Okay, let's talk with you, Jake. Again, that freshman year, you said you didn't get to start right off at the bat at quarterback, but eventually you came in. You took a little bit of a beating that year, not just on the scoreboard, but probably physically as well. You've grown quite a few inches since then. I think I might have been taller than you as a freshman, and now I have to look up to talk to you. But what was that freshman year like for you, and what did you take away from it?
Well, like middle school, we were kind of good and never lost, and then coming in the freshman year, and everyone was so much bigger than you. It was really crazy just looking at these guys and me sitting back in the pocket and seeing these guys come at me. It was kind of scary, and then just getting the ball out quick before they hit me because I knew I wasn't going to take a sack, but I ended up still getting destroyed. But then I knew, obviously it wasn't the season we wanted, but we knew it would obviously help coming up, and the offseason we would have to get bigger and stronger, and it's just helped us to get where we are now. You
talk about your quick release. Did that develop that freshman year because of the pressure? Because I know that's something right now that Coach Peterson always talks to me about is that you don't take sacks because you generally read the defense and get the ball out how quick. How much of that developed that freshman year?
Yeah, I knew sacks were not good, obviously, and I just tried getting the ball out as quick as I could because they were right there almost every time. So I knew where the receivers were, and I could just throw it where they kind of were and hope for the best.
5-5 as a sophomore. How much work did you guys put in during that offseason going into that sophomore year, and what was kind of the mindset of starting to turn this program kind of back around?
Well, it started off in the weight room and the off-season workouts, and we knew we were going to be better with another year under our belts, and it would obviously is going to help. And we knew that with all the people still, our talent-wise, we were still going to be decent, and we started running routes and everything in the off-season, so our timing was getting there, and we just knew the season was going to be much better than last year.
For Derek, you as a sophomore, you grew a little bit, probably got a little faster. You come into there, you guys go 5-5, you make the playoffs, you get knocked out, I think, by Glidden, if memory serves me correct. What was going through your mind as that season developed, and all of a sudden the catches started to come, the yardage started to come? Because this goal that you guys have reached for the both of you, really, it's a 4-year thing because you guys haven't played a lot of quarters and a lot of halves this season. So this was something that you guys started building to. Did you ever think as a sophomore, as you started to gain, that you guys could be where you're at today as a team and individually?
I knew we were going to get better every year. So sophomore year, we went 5-5. Got Coach P, and we were all kind of terrified of him. And he definitely made us get into the weight room a lot more, so we were going to get bigger and stronger. I honestly didn't think we were going to be, I knew we'd get better every year, but I honestly didn't think Jake and I are not right now that would never happen. I never even had that in my mindset.
Where do you feel like you got better as a receiver as a sophomore? Was it route running? Was it making yards after the catch, or was it a little bit of everything?
Probably route running and getting a little bit faster, like you said. I definitely wasn't that scrawny 120-pound freshman or whatever I was anymore, so that definitely helped quite a bit.
Where are you at right now, size-wise?
5'8", like 150.
5'8", 150. Where are you hoping to be? I mean, it's not a bad-sized kid. I graduated high school at 118, so don't feel bad. I won't tell you what I am now, but
I don't know. Obviously, I'm probably not going to grow anymore. I'd like to still put on more muscle than, I don't know, probably like 165 maybe sometime. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But you feel good where you're at right now for what you're doing?
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know, maybe college football. I'm kind of thinking maybe about that.
Okay.
But so I definitely have to put more muscle on, but that'd probably be in the summer. Definitely don't want to probably gain it for basketball season. And
Yeah. You bring up the future, and I was going to ask you about that a little bit later, but you bring it up now. College football is what you're thinking?
I don't know. I've kind of thought about it. I don't know how well it'll work out, but it's definitely an option right now.
Have you looked at anybody and talked with anybody yet?
A little bit of BV and a little bit of Simpson, but BV they've kind of talked to me about track and football, so that's kind of more on my mind right now.
Okay. Is that kind of your lean? Are there any other schools you're planning on visiting in the future?
Oh, I visited UNI, and I really like that school too, but football there is just beyond belief. It's crazy there.
Okay.
So that's probably.
Okay. When do you hope to have your decision made?
I don't know. That's a long ways ahead yet.
You still got basketball and track and everything else to get through, right? Okay. Jake, for you, both of you guys mentioned Coach P, Coach Peterson, Chris Peterson. For anybody that don't know who Coach P is, he came in your sophomore year. How much did his changing of the offense and getting you into the weight room, how much impact has he had on turning you into the player you are today?
Well, like you said, he is a very intimidating guy when you first met him.
Explain that if you can, because I've known Chris now for several years. He's an intense guy, but I guess I've never been intimidated. But I'm older than he is, so maybe that's part of the reason why.
Well, first meeting we saw him, he just looked super muscular and super scary. We were little small sophomores, and we were just like, whoa. And we had no clue what was going to happen, but he's helped so much. Like, he played quarterback, I think, and he's helped me so much in just being able to know, like, to read the defenses and everything.
I'd like to add one thing to that. In that meeting, he gave us like a 10-pound packet of everything that he planned on doing this year, so that's kind of a little scary too.
Yeah,
did he make you curl it as you were reading it? Or Jake, let's talk a little bit about you for college. What are your thoughts?
I'm not really sure. I've been looking at Northwestern and UNI, but I don't know if I plan on playing any sports or not. It depends.
Okay, both of you guys have options when it comes to athletics. You know, basketball you're good at, track, baseball. So football for you and maybe track.
Yeah.
What made you think that those are the two that you would want to do at the next level?
I don't know. I just enjoy football way more than all the other sports. I don't know. Something about breaking people's ankles and trying to get open is fun to me.
How hard do you work on route running?
I don't know. I've been working on it since I was young. Basically, just trying to get people spun around is what I don't know what I do.
Take us through some of the workouts that your dad would put you through, because you said that he used to kind of help you with that and get it where you'd get guys turned around. What kind of workouts did your dad make you do, and do you break his ankles today?
I could today. Probably not when he was younger, but I don't know. A lot of the agility workout, like ladders, dots, just that kind of stuff to work on like footwork.
Okay. Do you enjoy that stuff?
No.
But you understand how much it's helped you, right?
It's definitely helped a lot.
Absolutely. And Jake, for you, is football the one if you decide to play? Or I know you're a great pitcher. In baseball, basketball, you've got the size. Is football the choice if you decide to play something at the next level?
I'm not really sure right now. I mean, it would be fun to play because, football is really fun. It's a good sport to play, but I don't know if I'd be up at the next level yet or not.
Has any coaches contacted you, anybody at the next level for any of the sports? There's got to be some people looking at you, I imagine.
Northwestern's basketball coach has talked to me a little bit, but that's it right now.
Okay. Talk about what you've done to make yourself better as a quarterback over the years.
Just going out and playing catch. Just me and Derek would go out and he'd run routes, and I'd work on my timing. It just a lot of the timing workouts have helped a lot.
Let's talk a little bit about this senior year as a whole. You guys started off number one according to the Associated Press. Lost to Remsen St. Mary's in the opener, and that probably was a heartbreaker for you guys because that was a game that nobody anticipated. You've bounced back. You picked up some nice wins since then. A tough overtime loss to Coon Rapids Bayard kind of put you guys right now on that outside looking in for a playoff berth. You need to win out to be able to get in. But what's the senior season been like for you? What are some of the memories that you're going to take away?
Yeah, that first game was obviously a heartbreaker. We were hoping to go up there and get a win. Obviously, it just didn't work out. And then coming in and just playing those other games that we were able to get big wins on, those are always nice to have. And then that Coon game, yeah, that's still hard to take down. But hopefully we're going to be able to overcome that with wins versus Glidden, now hopefully versus Ottoman too to get in. So so far it's been a pretty good senior season, I'd say.
What are the memories that you're going to take away, and stuff from your career? You might have 2 games left. If you win out, you guys, you're good enough. I say all 3 of the teams in your district, if you guys get in, whoever gets in, whichever 2 teams out of you 3 gets in has got a chance to go to the Dome. I think all 3 of these teams are good enough to do that. But what are you going to take away from your career when it's over here at Arweva?
Oh, geez. Just that we've always put everything out there, and obviously this record's going to always be something in my back of my mind, always thinking about that. But the teammates that I've always had, they've always been great with everything. They've helped me with everything. Coaches, my whole experience at Arweva has been great.
And for you, Derek, what are the memories going to be for you?
Basically what he said, the teammates, the records will be in the back of the mind. Definitely Coach always joking around with us. He always has some smart remark back to us when we say something stupid to him, because you know us.
Yes. You guys, so he's not as scary now as what he was.
Oh, definitely not.
For you guys, I tell you, one of the memories I'm going to remember is the track meet a couple of years ago with the different socks and outfits that you guys started to wear. Tell me a good story about Jake, something that you can tell us that, that's maybe a funny thing or something really pretty cool about Jake and something that you can remember from his past.
I don't know. There's way too many of them.
What kind of guy is he? I know him as kind of a quiet guy, but a nice guy. But I also know that when you guys all get together, there's a lot of fun to be had. It's good fun, but it's fun.
Yeah. I'd say he's not as loud as Alex and I, but once you get to know him, he can definitely be up there with us at times. At times, he likes to kind of hold back a little bit, but you get to know him, he'll definitely speak whatever he wants. He'll definitely be as weird as we are.
So do you got to kind of edge him towards that a little bit, or does it just come out once you get started?
He kind of gets egged on by us. Like, we start it, and then he kind of joins in, and then he kind of lays off a little bit, but then he'll join in again. He's just kind of on and off.
Okay. And Jake, you got anything good for Derek? He's the one that just said right here, he's kind of that instigator.
Yeah.
So he's probably got some good stories you can tell us about him.
Derek is probably one of the weirdest kids I know. Like, when you get him and Alex Cook together, bad things are usually always going to happen. Not like bad things, just dumb things. And Derek, there's just way too many things to just remember about this kid. Everything he does is just one of the strangest things you'll ever see. Every day's a new thing. I don't know what to expect.
I will admit, because I still remember the night that I had a knock on the back door here at work, and I opened the door, and here's these guys, with who was all in the group? Was it you two?
Us two,
Austin and Alex. Was Zach in there? Moose was there.
And I don't know about Zach. Zach might have been there too.
Yeah. But you guys, they were singing, folks. They were. I can't remember the song. Christmas Caroling.
Yep, it was Christmas time.
So these guys have always been a lot of fun. Guys, 2 games left potentially. What do you got to do against Glidden this Friday, and then potentially against Audubon there in Week 9?
We have to basically win by 17 points because of the point system. So we got to show up versus Glidden, and because they probably won't be a bad team. They have had injuries, but they'll probably all be back, we heard. So they'll be tough, but Audubon, we're just going to have to basically give it everything like it's our last game and then hopefully come out with that win.
And Jake, for you?
A lot of it this week for Glidden will be responsibility football and just come out and make sure we know what we're doing and hopefully win by 17, like you said, with the point system. And then Week 9 versus Audubon, if we beat Glidden, week 9 versus Ottoman, we'll come out and just give everything we got because it could be our last game. We don't know, so just give everything we got and hopefully come out with the W.
Well, I tell you what, guys, it's been a pleasure getting to sit down here and chat with you guys tonight. I'm sure there's a million other things about your football career, and as a youth, I probably could have asked you that slipped my mind here tonight, but I can't wait to get to see you guys play again and stuff, and even if it's not here in football, I'm looking forward to the basketball season as well because I know you guys will have a great year there. But thanks very much to both of you guys. Well-deserved, and I'm going to tell it again on here. I said it Friday night on the Mackey Motors scoreboard show when we found out that these guys had set their records. These guys are great football players. They're great athletes. The neat thing about both of them, they're better kids than they are football players. These are amazing guys right here, and they're well-deserved of those records that they now hold, and I hope they both hold them for a very, very long time. Guys, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Derek Schurke again, Jake Danner from the Arweva Rockets, all-time leading passer in 8-man history, all-time leading receiver in 8-man history, and soon to be the all-time leading receiver receptions-wise in the state of Iowa, no matter what class size it is. So both great guys. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.